Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody. We got a fascinating video today. Somebody wants me to talk about enrolled agents. I know my fans are going to love this one. But anyway, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. This is a sponsored video. I was compensated to give my thoughts on something other than a stunk, which is perfectly fine with me. If you want a personal video, you send me money, you tell me the topic. As long as I approve the topic, I will make the video for you. So we're going to talk about enrolled agents, and we're going to read this guy's email. Of course, we've kept him anonymous. But what is an enrolled agent? Basically, it's somebody that is, federally recognized to be able to represent a client before the IRS. If you want to get into the tax world and you want to file taxes, but you don't want to become a certified CPA, you can become an enrolled agent. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't look down on EAs. I've known EAs that have 20,000 times more experience than I do. I'm CPA licensed, but that doesn't mean you know everything. I got no problem with the certification. Nothing against it. Personally, I'm biased towards the CPA license, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So let's go ahead and read this, and then we'll get into the meat, the big, thick meat of this video. Hey, Strongman, I would like to get your advice about the CPA license versus the enrolled agent's license. Is this something I can request a dedicated video on? Of course, I will grift you at every opportunity. If so, can you discuss the requirements for taking the EA exam and becoming an EA in the video? Abso-freaking-lutely. I know you work in tax, so your feedback and thoughts would be beneficial. Well, I did work in tax, and I actually do plan to start my own business this summer. Or not this summer, this upcoming tax season. I'm actually going to start advertising pretty soon. But I have 2 tax seasons under my belt. I briefly left tax. I'm now in corporate accounting. And the reason I'm doing that is because now I can actually prepare taxes and not compete with my firm that I'm working for. But I'm currently not in tax right now. I work as a corporate accountant. Well, how do you become an enrolled agent? Well, the number one best resource for a lot of stuff is the IRS website, irs.gov. I am personally not an EA. I have never taken the EA exam, and I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot about it, but I can weigh in on some other topics. So here's how you do it. You need to obtain a preparer tax identification number. I can't talk. It's a P10. Basically, it's this thing that you have to renew every single year, and it's pretty easy to get. I mean, even on the IRS website, it says it takes about 15 minutes. You go in there, you sign up, you pay the fee, and go through the checklist, and boom, you got a P10. Okay, that's the easy part. The hard part is these exams. The special enrollment examinations. There's 3 of them. You got to take the tests. Achieve passing scores in all 3 parts within 3 years. That's actually pretty lenient, okay? Well, I think they changed the CPA exam recently, but back in the day when I took the CPA exam, you had 18 months to complete all 4 exams, which sucked, okay? So these are the 3 exams. You got individuals, you got businesses, and you got representation, practices, and procedures. Now, I'm sure these exams are passable. I'm sure they're a little challenging, especially if you're new to tax. But if you work in tax already, I don't see you having a problem passing these. You just got to get motivated to take the frickin' tests, okay? So you get your P10, you take these 3 tests, you pass the exam. It's all right here on the IRS website. You should go through here. Just go straight to the IRS website. Check out the pinned comment below and join our Discord community where you can ask me questions directly via text. And if you sign up for the highest tier, you can actually meet me in person every 2 weeks. So check out the pinned comment, join the Discord community, and let's make some money. And then you can apply for enrollment. You download this form, blah, 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 and you mail it into the IRS. And then you pass a suitability check. And once that's done, boom, boom. The IRS will probably tell you that you're an EA and you're good to go when you're now able to prepare tax returns and, represent your clients before the IRS and all that jazz, okay? But that's basically it. A little about me. I recently graduated with an accounting degree and thought the logical next step in my career would be to study for a CPA license. Yes. However, I am deficient in 1 class in order to sit for the CPA exam. So my question number 1 is it a generic class? Just one, because you need, depending on the state, you need a certain amount of credits to sit for the CPA, or to qualify for the CPA license. My state, it's 150. and I got like a bachelor's and a master's in accounting. But you don't have to get a master's in accounting. You could just take one stupid class in gender studies, if that's all you need, and then you're ready for the CPA exam. If it's an accounting class, find the cheapest freaking college. Make sure you check with your state to make sure it counts. Go to that college, take the cheapest class, and boom, you got your educational requirements. I currently work as a tax preparer. That's good. So you already have experience, which is the number one thing. I had a license before I prepared taxes, and I was still lost in the sauce my first tax season. And wouldn't be able to take the class till next summer. I work as and wouldn't be able to take the class till. Why do you have to wait? I mean, you have time, man. One class? There's no school that you can just sign up for one class and just knock it out. You should look around for that. I recently learned about the enrolled agent license and was considering pausing studying for the CPA and switching over to studying for the EA exam. From my understanding, an EA can do everything that a CPA can do in the realm of taxes, basically, which I am most interested in. Becoming an EA seems like something that is more attainable for me in the near future, as I am most knowledgeable in the tax area, having studied for that section of the CPA exam and worked in the field. I have nothing against you becoming an EA, but I think you should still get your CPA license. So if you want to become an EA, I'm not going to say, oh, don't do it, that's stupid. Sure, if you want to go ahead and do it, do it. But you should also get the CPA license. Think about this, okay, right off the bat. You're working in tax now, and maybe you love it, maybe it's amazing. What if you get tired of taxes? What if a couple tax seasons piss you off, and you're like, I'm done working 50,000 hours a week. I'm exhausted, my eyes are drooping, and I'm fat, and I stink because I haven't showered in 3 weeks. And you're like, you know what, I'm done preparing taxes. Well, I'm sure you could hop over into any other accounting role. I'm sure you could. But it would probably be a lot harder. If you had the CPA license, the world is your oyster in the accounting world. I could say from experience, okay? Here's what I did. I worked at NASA. Worst job I ever did. Well, besides, I guess, the Army. I worked at NASA. Hated it. But while I was at NASA, I got my CPA license because, I'm not lazy. And when I graduated, when I finished the CPA exam, eventually I was like, you know what? I quit NASA. Horrible boss, hated it. Then I started applying for jobs. And my CPA license got me a job working in the tax field. Without that CPA license, I would have been in a world of hurt trying to find a new job. But with that shimmering credential, I was able to get a job in tax. Now, I could have gotten a job anywhere in tax, really. I could have done audit. I could have done corporate accounting, which I'm in right now. There's a lot of stuff that I could have done, and that CPA license gave me the flexibility. And now that I have that credential, people will throw money at you. They love you, okay? Because you can do anything, basically. Obviously, you need experience, but it's a very, very powerful credential. EA is only for tax. Nothing against it. No problem with it. You can get both if you want to. It'd be a good prep for the CPA exam. But don't just say, oh, I'm going to get the EA and be happy. Because you got to keep your options open in life. You can't pigeonhole yourself into taxes. The CPA exam sucks, okay? It's 4 tests. They're hard as hell. You got to study every freaking night. It sucks. But when you pass it and you're done, you will never regret having your CPA license, okay? So, that's basically it. Let's compare, what a CPA versus an EA can do. Basically, with both, you could represent clients, you can prepare tax returns. With a CPA, you can actually do reviews, compilations, audits, all of that stuff. So if you ever start your own tax practice and you want to make extra money, without that CPA license, you're not going to be able to sign off on that stuff. If you're an EA. With a CPA license, you can. Now, look at the pay difference, okay? Look at the pay difference. 23, this is the average professional rate. I think it's higher than this. But the average rate for an EA, $23.77 versus a CPA, $30.30. And I can tell you that is low. That's like that. No, I make more than that. I'm not even high on the pecking order in my accounting job. So I would say get both. If you want to become an EA, great, do it. But do not get lazy. Be a lazy butt. go ahead and get your CPA license, and you will not regret it. EA, it's federally recognized. It's all federal. CPA is based on your, your state board of accountancy, but it's also recognized. So a CPA can do everything an enrolled agent can do, but a CPA can do more. And when you study for your CPA exam, the EA is focused on taxation. The CPA exam, you have audit, business concepts, financial accounting, which is actually important in tax, and registration. What? I think they meant regulation there. I don't know if I should trust this website anymore. And regulation is the tax. It's not registration. I'm sorry. But when it comes to being a CPA, when you take financial accounting, you become very proficient in accounting, like the actual, like what people think of accounting, not just tax. And when you're doing CPA, when you're doing tax stuff, a lot of the times you're looking at people's books. Like when I first started my job in tax, you got to fix people's financial statements. You got to tidy them up, clean them up. And by having a CPA license and having that extra training in financial accounting, it prepares you a little bit better to be able to, tie out retained earnings and, make sure everything balances and make sure the client isn't doing something clownish with their books. And it's just very helpful. Now, I mean, I've known EAs that are very smart in that, and it doesn't mean you're dumb because you're an EA. But the CPA it's a more comprehensive exam. It's the gold standard, okay? So I got no problems with you doing the EA. Get that freaking class done. Like, if it's just a class, like gender studies, pay $200 at the worst school on the planet, if that's all you need. Take the class, pass it, and then bada bing, bada boom. Then you can go ahead and be a certified CPA accountant. But I got nothing against you being the EA. If you just want to buckle down and do it, go right ahead. So that's kind of my thoughts. I mean, I have no reason to become an EA. I'm never going to become an EA because it's just I can already do it all and more with this CPA license. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, if you have any more questions, you can email me. I don't got a problem with it. We can talk more. Since you work in accounting, I'm partial to you. But that's kind of my thoughts. Get your CPA license. Have a wonderful day.